Good morning. Let me give you a little bit of a rolling review. Might be something I'll start. Let's talk about the movie Wicked. I know I'm probably late to the game, but I'm a long time watcher of Wizard of Oz, first time watcher of this movie Wicked. And I will say overall, it was a pretty decent movie. I'm not really a musical person at all in terms of watching musicals, because after a while I internally am saying, oh my God, there's too much singing in here. Can we just get on with the show? So Wicked did do a nice balance of actual talking and dialogue, mixing it with some music. So I did appreciate that. Love Cynthia Erivo and everything that she does, and I like her voice and the way she sang these songs. Ariana Grande's voice was good. I was so impressed and happy to see Michelle Yeoh singing. I didn't even know she could sing. Because I'm a martial artist fanatic. So, I see Michelle Yeoh, I'm like, yes! I wanted her to start like running across tops of houses and shit. Nah. Anyway. But I'm not really seeing the hype about the movie, to be honest with you. Unless you want to talk about like what the movie represents and the commentary behind the movie and how everything is classism and how people are treated a certain way because of the hierarchy of society and these things. First of all, let me just back up and say that they was going to the University of Shiz. So if they having a party, would it have been a shiz in it? Anyway, just me thinking. Ariana's character was hilarious to me. She was very much Legally Blonde went to Oz. You think about how she arrived on that boat when she was coming to University of Shiz, and she had all that luggage, and she's wearing pink, and she's blonde, and she's throwing her hair around all crazy and flicking it or whatever. Then you go watch Legally Blonde, and you can't tell me that if you didn't take her and put her in Oz, that ain't the same character. Anyway, her funny line to me throughout the whole thing was like, I didn't get my way, I must lay down. Which was funny to me because, most legally blind people think that they can get their way if they bet their eye and fling their hair or whatever. Now, ironically, I know I got blonde in my hair. But me flicking my hair don't work at all. It don't matter what I'm flicking. I don't necessarily get my way. But it was funny with that, juxtaposed against Elphaba, who was green, who was never really trying to get her. Oh my God, I'm not talking. Oh, I am. My bad. I thought my thing was not moving. I thought I was just talking to myself. Technically, I am, but you know what I mean. Anyway, back on track, Sasha. Focus. She wasn't trying to get her way, but everything naturally was coming to her. She naturally had ability. She naturally had powers. Now, granted, she didn't know how to control them per se right away, but it was natural. So everything that everybody else was striving to hurry up and get, she already had within herself. Commentary on trying to put people in cages and keep them quiet, take their voices, silence them. That's very much like how it is today. And you started with the animals, and you wanted to get them young. You wanted to get them animals young and keep them in a cage and keep them in that particular habitat, which was not right at all, because everybody has a right to be free and speak and have a voice. I did not dig the fact that y'all was trying to blame Elphaba for everything, but you figured she was the scapegoat because she was the most different, and you can write a narrative about her, which they did, which I was so pissed at Michelle for doing that with a sorcerer. Anyway, I'm calling her real name, Michelle Yeoh. I was so pissed at her that you gonna get on the big loudspeaker University of Shiz and tell everybody that she evil and she wicked and she done hurt all the monkeys or whatever. Now, I did dig the fact about the birth of the flying monkeys. Now, granted, that was just a happy accident that Elphaba did, but didn't know she was making a mistake. Which explains why the flying monkeys were so loyal to her later on when you see the real Wizard of Oz, because like technically she's their mother, and because she created them with the wings, which she didn't mean to, and she more than likely probably took care of them because she felt bad for changing them in the first place. Glinda would never have survived if she'd have went with Elphaba in the first place. her inner character was not strong enough for that. You know, she always wanted her way to be to her way. She always wanted things to be a little easier. She thought everything was going to come easy to her, with her flicking her hair, being so, you know, giving flattery and being nice to people. She thought she could just wiggle her way into something. And it wasn't going to work. So she would not have been able to defy gravity out there at all. She'd have got out there, her ass would have dropped like a missile to the ground, and she just would not have survived. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, they never went over the fact on why Elphaba could not get wet, right? Because I'm trying to figure out, like, we do know that the Wicked Witch of the West was killed by Dorothy by a bucket of water. But nobody ever explained why she couldn't get wet in the first place. So that was kind of strange to me, because I thought, well, if we learning the story of her, we'll figure out why she can't get wet. I don't remember seeing that. I don't recall them touching on that at all. Let's talk about her daddy, Elphaba's daddy, who was an asshole, and probably is an asshole reflective of people in real life. I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt in terms of why he was being an asshole, but I will say this. I'm pretty sure that he knew that that child wasn't his, because his wife was having an affair with the man that was giving her the green elixir in the first place. Then the fact that she was green, that embarrassed him, so then he was also feeling some type of way doubly. So he treated her like crap because that wasn't his kid. He treated Nessa Rose like royalty because he knew that was his kid. But y'all should not have made Elphaba carry that blame that it was her fault that her sister couldn't walk. No, it was her daddy and her mama fault for taking that damn milk thistle and eating it every day and thinking that was going to do something. So there's that. Also, Dad was an asshole, because why would you give your daughter who can't walk, ain't never walked, ain't never tried to walk, nor did you try to help her figure out how to walk, the shoes of her mama past? What's she going to do with a pair of shoes and knowing her butt can't get out that chair? That's just rude and insensitive. But yet you got a daughter that's walking around capable, of course, that you don't claim, who got on the shoes that seemed like they was too small for her. Because the camera panned in on her shoes a couple of times, and them joints looked like they was stretched tight on her feet, like they was too small. You could have easily gave Elphaba the shoes. And then how my brain works, them shoes low-key look like Celia Cruz's shoes that she used to wear with this high-ass platform. If you know Celia Cruz, you know. And them shoes remind me very much of that. But that was crazy to me. I enjoyed the poppies. Elphaba's favorite flower was poppy. So, of course, you know, I'm sitting there corny as hell in the show while we watching the movies, and I'm going, poppies, ooh, poppies, because that's what you remember from the original Wizard of Oz. And I like the fact that they wrote that in, so you knew, like, where the poppies came from. We got about how the flying monkeys came about. That was kind of cool. We even got how we got the yellow brick road in there. And I like how you figured that out. That was kind of decent. Now, the wizard, he was trash. And we all know the type of wizards that run companies that don't know shit, don't know how nothing works, got all these ideas but ain't doing nothing because they're working on the backs of somebody else. And that was the wizard. And Jeff Goldblum made a, he did a good job, but we all know a wizard that shouldn't be a wizard. We also all know a teacher who ends up turning on you. That's usually college professors, because they have you write these long-ass theses and research papers and talking about, okay, we going to grade them, and then we going to put them in a box outside the door, and you can come pick them up on such and such a day. And then you go through the box, and your paper ain't in there. They give you some bullshit about, oh, my God, you did such a good idea. I just want to study your paper and see the little... No, they want to use that shit for their doctorate paper thesis so they can get published in a book and take your name off of it. Trust me, I've known that to be the truth personally and from some of my other friends. So, no, you just be using people because they got actual free labor research that you didn't have to do as a professor. Not all professors are like that. Let me iterate that. Not all professors are like that, but a good majority of them, because you think about it. You ain't got all that kind of time in your day to do all the research that needs to be done for this big-ass book publication to come out with your name on it and for you to be the king of whatever, or the professor of whatever subject. Anyway, I digress because that's how my brain goes. There should have been more about the dude in Wizard of Oz. like, yeah, he was like a bad boy from wherever the hell he came from to come to a new school. And of course, Galinda wants him. He don't want her. He wants Elphaba, but he can't go into that either because, Elphaba got her own little destiny to do what she got to do. Y'all should have had more with that. I would have liked more of a friendship if they couldn't get together, more of a friendship and talking with each other than they did. I mean, they did a good little rebel thing with saving the animal and him bringing her poppies because he knows that's her favorite flower without saying, like, this is for you. Galinda feeling real lost because she don't know what the hell going on because, girl, it wasn't for you. But anyway, I'm assuming it's going to be a part 2. And I guess the part 2 is going to lead into what we know as of the Wizard of Oz. Somehow, I guess we're going to have to get a Dorothy and a lion and all that kind of stuff. But maybe in part 2, they can go and talk about the backstory on like how the lion got the way it was and the Tin Man and the Scarecrow a little bit more in depth. And well, actually technically they was made up characters from Dorothy because she had a fever anyway. But I liked it. I'm just rambling on, girl. It's like 11 minutes and 17 seconds I've been talking. Overall, the movie was good. I still just don't see the hype in it. The stuff that I liked, I'm sure nobody paid attention to or even thought about. I wish we talked about more of the animals. I like the animals talking and teaching class too. But that's just the way it is. Another movie that I'm late to, but finally, because I hate watching series where you gotta wait week after week to see something. I watched Fight Night, the Million Dollar Heist with like Kevin Hart being Chicken Man, and that was a very good movie. The first episode and half of the second one was kind of slow moving to me. Like, I guess, of course, you had to like build the characters up and figure out what was going on. But after that, after the second half of the second episode, it was off to the races. And it was really good. My only commentary for that is I did not like the dude who played Ali. It seemed too forced to me, if that makes sense. It wasn't a natural type of acting for that particular gentleman to do. Something about it, I just didn't like it. I mean, he had good lines, and I know the character was supposed to be written with, a certain je ne sais quoi in mind or whatever, but I didn't like it. I didn't like him portraying him at all. Also, a question to Hollywood. I mean, I know Terrence Howard is good at playing a villain. I don't know if it's because he light skinned with them pretty ass eyes and he just look like he up to no good. But damn, can he be a good guy sometime? And I don't want to hear, well, he was kind of good in Iron Man. But okay, one role. You halfway good in one role and work for the military, and then the other ones you a scheming ass dude who's over like taking over your friends or whatever. I can't even get it out because it done piss me off. And then, but you a pimp because you hustling and flowing. Like, even when you was Lucius on Empire, you still was no good then. Like, damn. That was kind of predictable to me, only because I'm like, oh, Terrence Howard in here, oh, he's gonna be the bad guy. I ain't know how bad he was gonna be until we got to the end, but I knew he wasn't up to no good. Black Willie got on my last ass nerve. I wish he'd have got, I don't know if y'all seen it, but it's been out already. So, spoiler alert if you had me. I'm glad he got his head blown off. He got it blown off too late in the game, in my opinion. But good. But the movie was good. I really enjoyed the movie. That was a really good movie. Now, what else is good? This is my third review, and I'm gonna sum it up because it's 14 minutes already. What else was good is the movie called The Killer. Ooh, that movie is good. It takes place in Paris. It got Omar Sy in it. And I forget her name. Her name is Natalie something, but it's French, so it was like Natalia, whatever. Beautiful looking woman. Oh my goodness, beautiful. And good at her job and acting, and she was an assassin. I'm all for female assassins. I love those type of movies, fighting, all kinds of stuff. That's good. It was good. The only question I have about that movie, I don't know if y'all saw in the trailer for another movie that's coming out with Omar Sy, but his sidekick is going to be Kerry Washington. It very much, when you watch this movie, The Killer, it very much is giving me the same vibes of this movie that's getting ready to come out. Now, the reason this movie was really, really good, The Killer, John Woo did it. Because, you know, John Woo know what he doing, boy. The cinematography, the visuals he give you, beautiful. But then why would you go and remake his movie again with the same dude and basically the same woman? Yes, it was a different woman, but if you see this woman in The Killer and then you put her side by side with Kerry Washington when her hair is curly, bitch, they look alike. It's like you doing the same movie again. But anyway, The Killer was good. Watch that. That was on all these movies right here that I'm talking about was on Peacock TV. Check them out. And maybe I'll come back and review some other movies for you. But anyway, that's just my opinion. You know, everybody's entitled to one. So just like the air we breathe. So this is what I thought. This is what I felt. You can tell me what you feel in the comments. If I was like wrong, like, oh my goodness, how could you not like this movie? And whatever. You know, I welcome comments. That don't mean I'm going to like them or I'm going to accept them or whatever. And if I really don't like you, I'll block you. But either way, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've seen these movies. Let me know what some other movies that's out there that's real good, like with killers and assassins and action-packed movies. I won't say I don't like too much gore, but like the John Wick of it all, we don't need to have that no more. Even though that was a really good movie, I'm gonna have to review that too. But I know The Jackal is in my movie queue to watch, and it's another movie that's in my queue to watch. But let me know. And I like comedy, so let me know about that too. So I'll see you again later on for the rolling reviews. I might do one whole movie review, or I might do 2-3 quick ones like I did just now. But let me know. Talk to you later.